welcome back. This is Emma. We're doing a little bit of a different setup this week because we're snowed in, so we can't make it down to the farm. But we wanted to show you where the magic starts in the greenhouse and where all of our seeds are started. That's where all the magic begins. So this is our 20 by, I believe, 48-foot greenhouse. We got this structure for free from basically a homesteader who thought he would use a prop house, but it was just a little too much. So we got this structure and then purchased the plastic from Nolt's Greenhouse Supplies, which is an amazing resource. Many of you probably know it. This greenhouse is heated by propane, so there's our propane tanks. And many of you who have greenhouses know that when it snows, you have to take the snow off the top. So we came with a broom and took that off this morning. So here we go. Inside, this greenhouse also doubles as my natural dye studio. And I obviously didn't clean up after last session. But the last thing that happened here was we processed indigo and extracted pigment and dyed in our dye vat. So some of this is the plant material that was left over. You can see the leaves are still kind of bluish. And we were trying to get seed off of this. So we had a really early frost and weren't quite able to save seed that we wanted. But you can see this silk is also what we used to strain the pigment, so some of the blue is left over. And then let me show you, this was the pigment that we got. We got, I think might have been 3 pounds off of our harvest this year. So we've been using that to dye our merchandise. Here's my little dye vat. Ooh. Indigo is such a cool process, and I'm excited to show y'all more about this as the season continues. But this is the greenhouse. These are where all the little plants are born before they head out into the field. Here's our heater. So again, it's heated by propane, and this heater is powerful, so it'll shoot heat all the way down, and then these fans up here help circulate it and just help the air move so disease doesn't spread among the seedlings. But in the early months, we'll put a piece of plastic in the middle just to conserve where the heat goes, and we don't have to heat this whole thing if it's not filled with plants. But around April, this whole greenhouse is full, and we're actually in the process of we're going to build another one this same size, just because last year, with the amount of seedlings we sold in the spring for home gardeners, we didn't have enough space. And now we are anticipating that being something that's still very popular, so we're looking to expand. Under here are all of the trays that we use. So every year we bleach them and sanitize them. The sizes we mostly use are 98s, 128s, 72s, and 50s, and that just correlates to the amount of cells per tray. But yeah, this is where it all happens. And I love propagation. I love working in the greenhouse. It can be such meditative work when it's snowy outside or raining. Working in the greenhouse can be a real treat during those times. I'm excited to show you the greenhouse when there's actually stuff growing in it. Pretty soon, mid-February is when we start seeding. So just in a couple weeks, we'll have our onions and celery root in, and we'll be able to show you that process pretty soon. But in the meantime, I thought maybe I could leave you with a little snowy picture of this area. Enjoy it. Blessings. Thank goodness for real winter. Till next week.